everybody, and thanks very much for showing up at Utopia Hall. I know you've all got busy schedules, and it's great to know that you would take the time and show your interest in what we want to discuss tonight. We are here to discuss the decision which has been made by the Ontario government and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry to close the facility in Angus, which we all call the tree seed plant, which is not really the right name. It's the Ontario Tree Seed Facility. Anyways, I'm from Aware-ESSA. My name is Janet Lord-Jenick, and I'm not very good at speaking publicly, so excuse me if I appear to not remember the words I've written down here. Aware-ESSA is a local environmental group, and we are affiliated with Aware Simcoe, and they are here tonight. And by the way, Sandy Agnew from Aware Simcoe will be recording the entire evening, okay? Since our first meeting in 2011, we have confronted, as a small group of women, local issues concerning the environment. And for the past few years, we have focused on trees. We've submitted proposed additions to ESSA's official plan to increase protection and the planting of trees. We have looked at options for tree bylaws, and we worked on raising public awareness of the value of trees, forests, and woodlands. As part of this initiative, we have arranged several tours of the Ontario Tree Seed Facility and a tour of the native trees that surround the buildings on their grounds. When the tree seed plant was opened in 1923, it was a key part of an ambitious reforestation project in Ontario. After centuries of logging, many of the forests of Ontario had disappeared, and they left water sources in some areas completely dried up and soils eroded. A group of far-sighted politicians, civil servants, and farmers, including Premier Jury and Provincial Forester Edmund Zavitz, laid the groundwork for a decades-long program of reforestation. Eventually, their efforts resulted in the Midhurst Provincial Nursery, the Ontario Tree Seed Plant, Simcoe County Forests, the Boy Scout Forestry Camp, and the planting of more than 2 billion trees in this province.
Wow, yay. Woo, yay.
Now fast forward 100 years, and the crisis is global. The crisis of global climate change has created a loss in biodiversity. And once again, trees are part of the solution, both in mitigating and adapting to climate change and providing habitat for wildlife. Now more than ever, we need the persistence and creativity of those 20th century conservationists to make sure that their legacy continues. Planting and preserving trees is an investment for future generations. Tonight at Utopia Hall, we are pleased to have a diverse audience that shares that view. The Ontario Tree Seed Facility means something different to all of the people that are gathered here tonight, but it's also an opportunity to hear those varied points of view. Tonight we're grateful to Ken Durst and his associates from the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, who have come to give us the reasons why their government is planning to close this facility. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry has a mandate, and it is as follows, and I quote, "The Ministry is responsible for protecting and sustainably managing the province's diverse natural resources and supporting Ontario's economic prosperity, environmental sustainability, and quality of life." End of quote. As this follows closely the ideals of those who went before them, we look forward to hearing what Mr. Durst and the members of his team have to tell us, along with an opportunity to answer any and all questions which may derive from this evening's presentation. Thank you. Now, I'm going to introduce you now to Sandy Cursis, who will be our moderator for the evening, and she is going to introduce Ken Durst and his fellow associates. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet, and good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. We're very pleased that the ministry has actually sent a team for us, and I'll share their bios with you, and you'll see what a great background and expertise they bring to it. First of all, I'd like to introduce Ken Durst. Ken, can you stand up? Thank you. Ken is currently the Regional Services Manager, Southern Region, and for the Regional Operations Division. In this role, Ken has managerial oversight for regional engineering, information analysis, business and finance, and the Ontario tree seed plant units. Prior to 2007, when he joined the ministry, he worked in the private sector, having been trained as a forest technician, and is the co-author of the first High Conservation Value Forest Report for the Gordon Coasters Forest, which was developed as part of FSC certification with TEMBEC and the Worldwide Fund for Nature. Additionally, he has been heavily involved through the Forestry Research Partnership in innovative forest resource inventory technologies. Welcome, Ken. Next, I'd like to introduce Sylvia Strobel. Sylvia, can you stand up? Thank you. She's with the Regional Information and Analysis Unit. She is a forester by training and has 28 years experience working in applied science and information in Southern Ontario. Currently, she supervises a team of specialists who provide mapping, information, and analysis support. In addition, she worked for several years with Ducks Unlimited and developed a conservation program for wetlands in Northern Ontario. So, our next guest is Craig John. Craig, could you stand up? Craig is the Regional Initiatives Coordinator for the Southern Region. He has over 30 years of experience working in various resource management program areas, but of course with particular focus on forestry, biology, and resource management planning. Craig. And finally, John Fisher. John's been with the ministry for over 20 years and has had numerous positions during that time, including park planner, land use planning specialist, and park superintendent for the wonderful Sega Beach, Craiglee, and the 6 Niagara Escarpment Parks cluster. John's been involved in a number of key initiatives, including Ontario's Living Legacy, Canadian Heritage River System, as well as the International Blue Flag designation that we're really proud that Sega Beach has. John is currently in an acting position as the supervisor of the Ontario tree seed plant, and that's effective as of September, I believe. Okay. Thank you for joining us and welcome to our community. Now, since the presentation team will be sharing some complex technical information with us tonight, they kindly agreed that yes, we can ask questions during the presentation, but please be succinct, and if you could save your questions for the formal question and answer period at the end. So again, please ask questions for clarification, but again, if you've got broader questions, save those for the actual Q&A session at the end. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ken and his team.